It's been another weekend and another confusing time for Hollywood at the box office. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It's I, the Reluctant Gringo, back with another video, and there's a bunch of entertainment news we have to go to, and first on that list is the weekend box office. So the Marvel is officially a disaster. There's no way around it. The director Nia DaCosta can call people what she wants to. If you didn't pay to see her film, then you're a racist, you're a sexist, you're a homophobe, or anything that she wants to call you. Or even if you paid to see the movie and you just didn't like it, you're a racist, you're a sexist, you're a homophobe, or whatever she thinks. It just shows you how much of a victim mentality that she has, and how the inability to accept the loss, the inability to accept an L in Hollywood has become sort of a mind virus. Look, I paid to see the movie. I posted a review on it the next morning. It just wasn't a good movie. Like any movie, I go in with good intentions. I want to see a good movie. I want to see something that's worth my money. It just wasn't it. Characters that I didn't care about, and really no one cared about. Bad writing, bad directing, bad producing, bad marketing, bad everything. All around. It was just a bad movie, you know? So that's partly why it failed. The other reason why partly it failed is because it came after a string of really disappointing, mediocre to bad movies in the Marvel phase 4, phase 5, whatever phase we're in right now. It just really doesn't matter. So there's a history there. So audiences are going to theaters and going, well, do I want to see another Marvel movie? The last one I saw kind of sucked. The last one before that was Or do I want to see something different? You know, something like Five Nights at Freddy's or Thanksgiving or whatever else people were seeing. Trolls, for God's sake, Hunger Games, whatever else was out there. The Marvels just, it doesn't appeal to people. In the bad word of mouth, people who did see the movie, again, such as I paid to see the movie. I'll tell you right now, if people want my honest opinion, it wasn't a good movie. I tell you, don't waste your money. Don't waste your money. So it's not going to get to the mark that it needs to get. It's made with $161 million worldwide. It's got a budget of $300 million, which means it's going to make around $600-700 million to break even because, you know, the theaters need their cut. The marketing budget needs to be added to that. It's going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars for this thing. That's just plain and simple. I wouldn't be surprised if after the Thanksgiving weekend, you really start to see that movie kind of go away. Now, maybe the Thanksgiving weekend here that's coming up, maybe that'll give it a boost. Maybe that'll give it some legs. Maybe people will end up going to the movies as families and say, yeah, let's see the Marvels. Yeah, we haven't seen that yet. But there are other films coming out. You got Napoleon coming out. You got Wish coming out by Disney, which is going to cannibalize it. The Hunger Games prequel's already released, so that's out there. That's taking into a little bit of its box office. So no, I don't think the Marvels is going to make the break-even point that it needs to make. I don't even think it's going to make $250 million. That's really my honest opinion. I think I'll be surprised if it makes $250. I don't even think it's going to make $100 million in the United States. And that's really something. That's really something for a Marvel movie. And that really should be a wake-up call to Disney, to Marvel, to Kevin Feige, to anybody. And again, if you don't like the movie, it's not because you're racist. It's not because you're a homophobe. It's not because you're sexist. It's because you paid to see the movie and you didn't like it. Because it was a bad movie. You know, and if you don't want to see the movie because it's not something you want to see, that doesn't make you a racist, a sexist, a homophobe, or anything. It just makes you somebody who says, hey, that's not something I want to consume. I don't want to consume that product. The job, you know, they have it backwards. You know, Nia DaCosta has it really backwards. Right? Her job is to create product that people want, not to create product that she wants. If she wants to create a movie that's for her, that's great. But don't get mad at other people because they don't like what she likes. That's just the way life is. You don't get over it. You know, stop being such a victim and stop blaming everybody else. If you want to create something that other people want to see, then do that, and then people will see it. You chose not to do that. You chose to make something for you. And that's what you get. You get something that fails. And you failed. Take the L, deal with it, move on in life, hopefully learn some lessons. I don't think you're going to, but hopefully learn some lessons. But I don't expect Marvel to learn any lessons. I don't expect Kevin Feige to learn any lessons. Why? Because, well, they already came out this past weekend. They've announced the young female Avengers. Again, I don't really care about this movie. Why? It's not a movie made for me, and I'm okay for that. I'm okay with that. I'm not going to see a movie that's not made for me. As Brie Larson says, it's not made for me. Great. But don't get mad at me if you make something that's not for me that I say, okay, well, that's not for me, so I'm not going to see it. Don't get mad at me. Don't blame me. Blame the audience that you're going after. If you're making a movie for teenage girls and teenage girls don't show up, then you should go after teenage girls. Don't go after 30, 40, 50-year-old men because you didn't make it for us. We're not just going to give you our money. It's amazing. You just think I should just hand over money because you think you made something that I should hand over money for. Just, it doesn't work that way. Learn the lesson. Move on. But here come the young Avengers or young female Avengers with characters I don't know, I don't care about, and whatever. If you care about them, great. Hope you see the movie. Hope you enjoy it. I hope it succeeds. I don't want to see anybody fail. Like I said, I don't want to see anybody fail, but don't expect me to foot the bill. It's like the WNBA. I don't watch the WNBA. I really don't even watch the NBA. I watch it sometimes. But if I don't watch the WNBA, does that mean I'm a bad person? No, it's just not something I watch. It's not product I consume, so I don't consume it. But also, speaking of the Young Avengers, so we've got Iman Vellani, who is Miss Marvel, right? Kamala Khan. She actually did an interview, and in it she said that she is not concerned with the box office discussions about her own movie. And she literally says, that's for Bob Iger. Now, I know she's a teenager. I know teenagers say things that don't make sense. I know. I have 2 teenagers. I know how this works. But that's amazing to me that an actor would, well, actually, it's not even amazing to me anymore, because I've seen, people like Rachel Zegler ruin their own movie by speaking badly about their own movie, their own co-stars, their own story, their source material. So does this surprise me? No, I don't want to dunk on her. She's a teenage girl. She's got a lot of lessons in life to learn. But here's the deal. She didn't learn that on her own, right? That's a perspective that she got probably from her older co-stars, probably from the director, oh, don't concern yourself with the box office. Well, wait a minute. That's what you should concern yourself with. You're making something to make money. You're not there just to play around, right? Well, that's what they think. They're there, she's going to come in, do her lines, get her check, walk away, not care if the film's a success, right? This is a movie that's supposed to be a big release for the studio. It's supposed to be a tentpole in a franchise. If this movie succeeds, it means hundreds, if not thousands, of jobs and paychecks for non-famous people who are just working behind the scenes, serving you food, picking up your trash and all that. But she doesn't care about that because she's been told not to care about that. That's the lesson. That's the Hollywood mentality now, is that it's somebody else's problem. If the movie fails, who cares? They got their paycheck, they got their fame, they got their 15 minutes, they can move on. It's an amazing, maybe it's a generational thing, but I've always been told that filmmaking is a collaborative effort. If one of those stars of a film decides to go into business for themselves, well, then you're going to get what we get with the Marvels, which is obviously what happened. I can just imagine that all the stars were in for themselves. They weren't really caring about what was going on. It was like, I'm doing my lines and that's it, I'm gone. What happens? No collaborative effort. No one saying, hey, maybe we should try this, try that. Maybe we try something different. Maybe, hey, this isn't working. Maybe this will work. But if they don't do that because they don't care, because they already got their paycheck in the bank, that's the mentality of Hollywood nowadays, then you're going to continue to get films like we get with the Marvels, which are things that just don't pan out. Now, I can't imagine anyone working on a Christopher Nolan film. I can't imagine anyone on Oppenheimer showing up to that set and go, I'm going into business for myself. It's just not the way things run with a Christopher Nolan film. You know how I know that? Because I watch Christopher Nolan films and I can see how everybody there cares and wants to put in input and wants to help each other out, and you can see the quality of the work. As I said, I don't think this is a unique take from Vellani, and it probably is a larger attitude amongst actors today, which is why I think a lot of movies lack heart, feeling, quality, etc. I mean, with that, I don't expect anything good from the young female Avengers. Next, Marvel's also going forward with the Thunderbolts, Marvel's version of the Suicide Squad, filled with characters that no one cared about in their debut films, or characters that received ridicule and criticism, such as Valentina, Ghost from the second Ant-Man film, Red Guardian, Taskmaster, Yelena Belova from Black Widow, U.S. Agent from the Falcon and Winter Soldier Social Justice Warrior series on D+, and Bucky Barnes, the only mildly popular MCU character in the lot. But is that enough for me to want to see the film? Not really. These characters are all from films and series that were not good, not well received. This lineup does not make me eager for the release, and has been pushed back to late 2024, late December to be exact, so things could change, but I don't think so. I don't know anything about the story, I don't know anything about it, but all I know is that this movie's going to be about these characters. Again, it doesn't make me excited. It could change, but I just feel like this is something that no one's asking for, so why give it? Their job is to make product that people are asking for. It's not the other way around, but they just seem not to be able to grasp that concept. Last but not least, the Hunger Games prequel released, and it did okay. Not spectacular, but okay. It had a $100 million budget. It's sitting at or just above that $100 million in box office receipts worldwide, so it should break even with another good week or two. But is that enough to warrant a new franchise? Normally, studios put out these kinds of prequels to kick off a franchise. Is the box office tally really enough to greenlight a second or a third? It's too early to tell, but whether the movie breaks even or not, the real question is for Lionsgate. And they have to wrestle with that question. What do they do going forward? Is this enough money to warrant a sequel, to warrant a trilogy, to have parts 2 and part 3? I just don't know. Probably they will go forward with it, but it all depends on what the box office receipts look like. And we got Thanksgiving here, so we'll see what those look like. And there you have it. A quick update on the box office, what the MCU is thinking going forward. I'm looking forward to seeing Napoleon in a few days, that's for sure. I like Ridley Scott. I'm a big fan of history, so I can't wait to see this film. I've heard good. I've heard a little bit of bad, but I've heard a lot of good, so I'm really excited to see this film. So what film are you looking forward to seeing in the next few weeks? let me know in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed watching, I would appreciate you hitting that like button and subscribing for future updates and content. I appreciate you all for watching, and from south of the border, I'm still your reluctant gringo. Salud and a huevo.